Apologies, you know, maybe that's Jason playing around with the internet. But let's get into the fixture list, people, very quickly. Let's assess our fixtures. Now, before I offer my opinion on a couple of other things, let me scroll all the way to the top. Apologies if it's not horrible, if it's horrible. Let me move my monitor so my head stops moving like a weirdo. But obviously, pre-season, if you don't know, we're going America. We're doing up America against Inter Milan / Everton. We'll play a friendly against Rangers and Hibernian. We've got a couple of them things to be doing. Yeah, obviously, our season, the big boy stuff. Shout out to Brentford, you know. Hopefully you can take a Nelson on loan or Nketiah permanently. I mean, I know a lot of you want Ivan Toney. We're going to see firsthand what Ivan Toney's on. And Ivan Toney is a threat in the air. I think he might show that. But you look at August. August hasn't been kind at all. Now, I mean, Chelsea, we seem to do quite well against them. We've done the double over them. It should be easy. Now, if we're real with ourselves, it's not what we want to see. The only good thing is we've got that one out the way first and foremost. You know, two London derbies, 2 West London derbies. 2 London derbies, 2 visits to West London and west of the river to play in this derby, kicks it off now. Again, football isn't one on paper, and Arsenal, we're a special club. We'll probably do something like lose to Brentford, beat Chelsea, you know, or could lose both, or could win both. We're very volatile. So we can't just, it's very easy to just look at paper or look on paper and say, yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll take this, we'll take that. The start of the season is crucial because you start as you mean to go on. And as I say, from August, our only goal, especially because we're not in Europe now, is get into December / early January, was there with a realistic chance of top 4. Then from January to obviously March, you know the business. Then from March to May, see it through. You know, Chelsea are going to be up there for winning the league, in my opinion, much less top 4, as is Liverpool and City. And they're competing. Them teams there are in Europe. They're probably going to do better than us in many different regards. So we have to be spot on, man. We have to be spot on. DG, what have we said here? DG, bro, these fixtures are concerning, you know. Bro, do you know what? They are concerning, but at the same time, it's 38 games. You got to play everyone sometime, innit? So, man, have to be on it in every game, man. But yeah, man, you've got Ivan Toney. You've got Ivan Toney's Brentford. You've got Chelsea. Don't know for our Cagliari Bell Cup. And then you've got City. So first 3 games, Chelsea, City. It could be better, innit? Could it be much better? Could it be much better? Crazy. Again, City are probably going to smoke us. I want to see a proper performance. You've got Burnley away, so you've got 2 away games. Now, our home away form was better than our home form last season. Burnley away is a tough one. You know, we didn't have the best of performances against Burnley across both games last year. So immediately, that's Brentford, Chelsea, Manchester City, Brentford, Chelsea, Man City, Burnley. I'm missing somebody out. But you can see how it's starting to get a bit tough for us, people. Again, you can't, you know, Brentford, they're going to be buzzing. You know, this is why they went up to the Prem, to play these sort of teams. To, you know, it's going to make more headlines if Arsenal lose, especially if that come that period, we start buying players and things like that. There'll be problems in that regard. So we'll have to see. I don't know. It must just be you, Morgs, man. Apologies, man. Jason's done a Mazzolini to the thing. But September, well, that's August. August sees us play City, Chelsea, have a cup game, and we've got Brentford. So we need to start off strongly. September, Burnley, Norwich. You know, I want to smack Norwich up for not giving us a slack with any Buendia stuff. So we've got to put in a performance there. So it's a bit of a dodgy one. You've got Spurs. So immediately, you know, until September, you've got 3 of the traditional top 6 or our rivals. You've got a North London derby, you've got City, you've got Chelsea. You cannot disrespect Burnley, Norwich, or Brentford, but they're the games that you're naturally going to gravitate towards or focus on primarily. The importance of pre-season is needed. The getting things right in pre-season. This is why I'm a bit concerned with us still. We don't really know who's staying and who's going. Like, we can't definitely say Guendouzi, Torreira, Leno, Xhaka, all of these guys that are linked with moves. And if they want to move, leave the club. We can't, as much as we think a lot of them are going, some more than others, we can't convincingly say they're going or staying. Pre-season is vital. There's a bit of a muddle. You know, as much as I think Arteta knew the role, I don't want Arteta needs to be able to allocate as much time to the coach in front as possible. You know, who knows how much better Partey could have been if we got him in pre-season earlier. I don't know. So yeah, August to September is gazy. We now look at October. Now the October-November periods, this is where you start getting a bit nervous as a fan. I'm still very nervous of playing Burnley and Brighton away from home, even though we put in a performance. Crystal Palace, it's a bit of a mixed performance. We got away with it after turning it around away from home. We couldn't break them down at our place last year. We're relying on Kieran Tierney to break them down. So again, they might not have Zaha. We don't know who their manager is going to be. It's a game you should be winning, but in reality, it's a tough one. We lost to Aston Villa at home last year. So again, I want these lot to remember this pain. Big up Aston Villa and their fans, because I'll get on with them. But I want, they did the double over you. And for me, as you notice, I'm not even a player. I don't play for Arsenal. When I'm going through these games, I want to see them have desire. I don't want the manager to keep saying things to them. Villa, you should want to beat them because they did a double over you. Palace, you haven't really performed over the last 2 games against them. Brighton, bit of a bogey team. The Spurses, the Chelseas, the Man City, self-explanatory. Norwich and Brentford, don't let these promoted teams get any enthusiasm off you. Take your points. Because arguably, we weren't perfect in any of these games, but arguably, I'm pretty sure many fans were prepared to concede how we play against the big teams. It's with respect. It's how we've been performing against the Villas, the Palaces, Brentford's not there, but you get the point. These sort of teams, inability to break down low blocks, conceding when you don't need to concede, switching off, not being consistent, and all the rest of it, people. So again, when I'm looking at these teams, these players should have personal experiences of what happened. There's no easy games in the Premier League, and from August to October, we've got hella London games to play. There's going to be energy in that regards. The only saving grace is there's no cup competition. There is now, but you get the point. So October, big up my guy Daspool, Villa fan. He keeps saying 23rd, 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 and he's saying Buendia hat trick. It is what it is, man. Arsenal sign flops. Who the hell do you sign Spurs, mate? Come on now, let's not be cheeky. But anyways, Leicester away. Somehow we won, even though we went to go down. I'm sick of Leicester anyways. November is where, as an Arsenal fan, I get scared now. Watford at home could be gazy. Liverpool speaks for itself. Newcastle at home, fair play. Old Trafford, we won there last year. Haven't won too many times in recent years there. You're going to need to put in a shift. November is gazy. Very gazy. Very, very gazy. You look at December now. And as I've said, October/November to January, this is the most crucial period. I don't care how you do it. I don't care what happens. I just care that you do it. Injuries, all of these things play a part, but there should be no excuses because we don't have as much football as other people. Everton away, we lost that. Southampton at home, we weren't the best. West Ham at home, I'm sure that was the second, third game of the season last year. We needed Nketiah to help us in that game. So again, there's personal responses here. I'm a bit nervous about December because these are tough games in my opinion. Leeds away, bro. Do I even want to play Leeds? I don't need to speak on Leeds. Bielsa knows what he's on. Ellen Road was a difficult ground. Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal, City, we all experienced that. Again, assuming we're in the quarterfinals, there's potentially quarterfinals. Norwich away, it is what it is. Wolves at home, we effed up. Win the game. So again, you can see, these are some tough games. You've got, the December period, you've got Norwich away, Leeds away, West Ham at home if they keep playing how they did last season. Southampton home and away presented issues for us. Everton somehow did the double over us. Away from home, we failed to switch on from set pieces. That game against Everton summed up everything. Poor game management, poor man management, poor just mentality with these players, really and truly. Both games against Everton, but that. So again, December's a gazy period for us people. We end it at home against Wolves. January, bloody hell, man. I thought you meant to welcome the new year in a great way. Man City, 1st of January 2022. Bearing in mind it's a World Cup year as well. A man said I sound like Rance. I don't think I do. I think Rance sounds like him and he sounds like me, and I sound like me. Not every IC3 sounds the same, but he's grown up in a similar thingy than me. Rance, shout out to Rance, but this face, there's one of a kind and that. But anyways, I thought January was meant to be Happy New Year and that. Man City, fair place out the way. Assuming we're in the semi-finals, there's that. I think the FA Cup finals played before the end of the season again. Why they're doing that, I don't know. Bag of things changing and whatnot. Oh, you're joking. Obviously, many fixtures could be subject to change. Obviously, City, Spurs, Spurs are in Europa. City, all the teams that we could or couldn't be playing are playing in Europe. So things are going to change. Assuming we go far in the Cat Yaraba, this could change things. But as it stands, January, you got to be on it. And this is why pre-season needs to be vital in terms of bringing in the right players and working with them. Because We're not getting any respite, really. You know, Man City at home, chill off for a bit. Then you've got, you know, other games will be played. Then you've got to go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Then you've got Burnley at home. You know, February sees Wolves away, Stamford Bridge away. Then you get returned to home against Brentford. So again, January, February, I'd say what? October to December, January, February. These are some gazy months for us people. Brother, February, look at it. February, bro, the New Year's not kind at all, man. What kind of month is this? February's, bro, what's going on? Wolves away, Chelsea away, Brentford at home, Liverpool at home. If you're in the cup final, you get a game. March, what are we saying for March? Watford away, that always, Vicarage Road scares me. Leicester did the double over us. So didn't do the double over us. They beat us at home. We need to win that. Aston Villa away, another one that actually did do the double over us. So we've got 2 Midlands teams back to back. Crystal Palace in April. Well, this is April's the decider in April, May. This is where, in theory, all your hard work should, you know, you see it to the end. Selhurst Park, I'm never confident. We got away with it in the last game, you know, but we took a while away. We do what we need to do. Brighton are a bogey team, so both of these teams are bogey teams, so it could get gazy for us. Who have we got third? Southampton away. So I don't like playing at St Mary's. I don't like playing at Selhurst Park. Brighton have been a bit of a bogey team. Wow, April's my birthday month. What's all of this about? Fortunately, Arsenal aren't playing on my birthday, April the 13th, if you're looking to get me a present. So yeah, that's cool. And then United at home. West Ham away, bro. Okay, August, you know, April's a tough month. But as I always say to you, August, December, January, March to May, and April sandwiched in between that. Games are coming thick and fast. See it through to the end. So again, it's a tough finish to the end of the season. What you've got: Man United at home, West Ham away, Leeds at home. I fancy Leeds at home. I don't fancy them away. Hopefully we get into the Emirates FA Cup final. Why on earth that's played before the season's done? Someone tell me. Newcastle away. Fair play. I'm not too fussed about St. James. Everton at home, they did the double over us. That's where our season finishes. So again, it hasn't been kind to us, but everyone's got to play everyone. So it is what it is in that regards. If I flick through quickly, people, while I've been speaking on that, make sure you're all hitting the like button. Arteta spoke about how vital pre-season is, people. And when you look at these fixture lists, the fixture list we just went through, you can't afford to mess about. I'm not asking Arteta to turn us into Barcelona. I'm not expecting us to turn it around, you know. We can't turn it around in a matter of weeks, you know. We're not going to end the season in May, come back in August, September, and it's all done with a pre-season in July. What I want to see is real building blocks. What I want to see is, obviously, we will lose some games, we will drop points, but I want to see more consistency in everything we do. Consistency in tactics, consistency in formation, consistency in personnel. You know, 38 games, 37 changes. That injuries are a thing, but that's not on. You cannot build stability with that sort of thing going on. I want to see stability. I want to know what my team is about. I want to see clear roles for players. I want to see playing the right players and not playing the wrong players. I want to see one rule for every player, because it looks like one player plays bad, he gets another 10 games. One player that hasn't been given a run of games plays poorly, they're dropped out. You know, I want to see Arteta solve things quickly, because I've been saying from August to December, bro, you might be gone if things keep messing around like this. And definitely when you see the fixtures we've got, you can't afford for that to be the case. If we go back to my man, because I never let Arteta forget, it's him saying we've learned our lessons from Olympiacos 2 seasons ago. This is Arteta himself on pre-season last year. Well, I think having a pre-season is going to be really helpful, because we haven't had enough time to work together yet since we arrived. Let's be honest, you came mid-season last season or towards the back end of your first campaign. What are you doing in the last few weeks and months? You clearly got them singing on some hymn sheet because you won the FA Cup, so you were able to do something. Why didn't we build upon that? You did have that. You can say there's no pre-season last year. You're still training week in, week out, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Man are in training doing something. If they're not training, they're looking at tactics online while they're doing their recovery. So, you know, it's not like people are just turning up at the Emirates and playing games, you know. So you've said this preseason. I look at preseason. He's obviously said, he's spoken about the Euros, but I see Euros, Copa America, Olympics. That could affect incomings. That could affect outgoings. So again, Leno, if preseason starts in 2-3 weeks, you ain't got your keeper, Leno, whether he's going to stay or not. Tierney might be resting. You know, right back, there's still question marks. It'd probably be Chambers. Centre half, Gabriel's playing at the Olympics. We don't know what's going on with Saliba. So who's the centre half? So that whole back line, you know, for the first 2 weeks in the season, you might see a different back line, or we don't know who the back line is. So again, If you ain't got your backline or your members, how much can you have a good preseason? You can it's just about trying to find a base error. And this is where I think the club don't really comprehend what's needed. He said, well, this was months ago, as you can see. He said, let's see where we finish this season. In relation to this, he said, obviously the Euros is going to condition the return dates of players in terms of what they do in the tournament. So there are obviously still question marks there. Realistically, Scotland probably not going to get out the group. Hopefully you do, Scots, but that means Teeny returns early, which could be beneficial. You know, you'd expect Germany to go to the latter round. So when could Leno be available if he's staying? And for me, what we cannot afford to enter August, or basically the start of the season, without a first choice 11, like I said, the context is of some needs to be applied, but, you know, stability, real stability, allow these players to build up relationships and things like that, man. You know, let your centre halves play together, understand each other. Let your fullbacks build a relationship with the wingers. Let the wingers who actually deserve to play, you know. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely mad. Got to do some work now. Great content, DG. I appreciate that. It is very concerning. It is excuses FC at times. Hey, I'm not even going to say that. Shout out to Paul. Just woke up and you're back again. Mad, the grind don't stop. It's gutting not to be in any European competitions, DG, but looking at them fixtures, it's better that we just get our basics sorted first, 100%. April, my birthday month. Shout out, DG, the realist. Love your vids. I appreciate that. Oh, you lot are the realists, man. You know, real recognize real. Wouldn't have the platform we have without you lot. So shout out to you lot, man. So yeah, I want to see a bit of stability. I want to see a stable first choice 11 because Arsenal's depth is a problem, but I just want Arsenal fans to have an 11 where we're not playing Xhaka because he's a lesser of two evils, or prepared to understand David Luiz has a lot of bad with him, but there's a lot of good. Just an 11 we can believe in, not just, I rate Tierney, Bellerin, Chambers, Maitland, you know, all of this sort of stuff. I want proper 11. And that will allow it to build stability. I want clarity over futures. I don't want to enter the season. I don't think we're going to solve everything, but I'm not going to keep going over it. You know, the numerous players that are linked with moves that want to go and not, you know, pre-season, use that to establish your system. You know, are you playing a 4 or are you playing a 3? If you play a 3, you should be able to play a 4. If you play a 4, we need to be able to play a 3. Freedom within a framework. But for out of them 38 games, you know, how many top 6 games are there? You know, it's not been the problem against the top 6. Not that we've been amazing. It's when we need to, you know, present something to the opposition. And I feel Arteta's he's improved us a bit defensively, but he's doubled down a bit too much on thinking about the opposition, and we don't offer anything. As much as our attackers haven't been consistent over a whole season, I think it's down to a lack of attacking clarity in relation to tactics, or he's doing something wrong. So this is a chance to find the system, find the DNA, establish some real building blocks, find better consistency. I don't want anybody at that football club to be under no illusions of the task we face this coming season, because it's going to be effing hard. Pardon me. So yeah, people, when I look at this, I think this is another segment from Arteta last year. Let me zoom out because I can't see it, people. I'm going to be real with you. That I wanted to speak of, man. This is when he first took over. And again, pre-season, sort this out. He said, I have to look at the players, how they come back from holidays, how they come after winning. I want to see that reaction. This was in pre-season last year for this season. And he told players not to be relaxed, allegedly. He said, you know, they're going to be a little more relaxed because they've done something, or they're going to come with, okay, this is nothing that we've done. We have to go to the next level. That's what I would have thought the whole club would have been on last preseason. He said, we have to apply ourselves better. We have to improve in a lot of areas. We have to dominate many other aspects of the game. At the moment, we cannot control. If that is the mindset, then I'm very positive we'll be sitting here in a year's time really happy, but I hope we take that road straight away. So again, you players, nobody took that then. Nobody pushed themselves. Everybody got complacent rather than using it as a system to build upon. I personally feel Arteta tried to do too much and did too many. I think he didn't really believe in his players. That's why he's doubled down defensively, and to the point you're seeing the problems in an attacking sense. I think he's shown stubbornness in the wrong areas and took too long to fix things. I think there was an air of complacency with the FA Cup win, with the teams we was playing and stuff. With the teams we was playing and stuff in the route to the FA Cup final. I think there was a sort of complacency that the things we need to improve, we've somewhat moved forward with them, and now let's focus on them, where it's intermediate steps, people. Do you get it? He said, I could, and he's also said as well, which was concerned. He said, I could have a sense from the outside of what was happening, everything I was reading, the people I had inside the club that could feed me some information. But I think until the day you walk through the door and start to really feel the energy and what is happening, it's difficult to predict what the role is that you have to take in terms of the impact you want to make. I was worried. I saw a lot of things that worried me in terms of unity, the energy that was around the place. But I must say that straight away in the next few days, I completely felt something was changing. And for me, since Arteta walked in, he don't talk like this no more. So something's changed. And he's also said the first thing was that I got everybody together, the staff, the players, and told them what I thought about them and why this wasn't working. If we were going to continue like this, it was never going to work. The first thing we had to do was to get back all together with the same agenda, with the same intentions. I don't think they do. Some people probably thinking I could move. Certain people probably thought I could outlast the manager. Certain man just don't have the desire in it. Certain man just don't have the hunger. Certain man just don't know what's going on. So how can we sing from the same hymn sheet, people? Moving forward, shout out to Obino, where I got the vast majority of these stats. Again, these are things we need to improve in pre-season. Whatever you say about Lacazette, Aubameyang, and these things, should we be ninth for goals in the Premier League? Nope. Simple as that. I'm not entertaining. I'm open to questions, but there's no excuse for that. You know, of the top 11 teams in 2021 season, only Everton scored fewer goals than us. So again, you can defend as much as you want. You need to be able to score goals. And again, some of it has to be attributed to Lacazette, you know, having a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde season. He's finished it strongly. Pepe the same. Aubameyang not the same, despite being 3 goals or so in the league off him, you know. But at the same time, there's got to be something with Arteta's tactics or lack of. We either shoot and don't hit the target, don't shoot at all, look to the same players to make a difference. You never get the vibe that we've worked on something, man. It's crazy, man. As you lot can see here, Arsenal scored fewer goals, 24 at home this season in the league than in any other campaign since 1973-1974. You know, we scored just 55 goals in total, which is our lowest overall total since 95-96. I'm born in 95, so in my lifetime, you know, that some of that has to be down to the gaffer. Simple as that. 95% of the goals Arsenal scored came from inside the penny area, a joint high in the Premier League. So again, can we be a bit different in that regards? You know, of 5% of Arsenal's goals scored came from outside the box, which is the joint lowest in the top flight. We've conceded a joint high of 4 own goals. So again, while we have made improvements defensively, concentration is still a problem. And there's many things: errors to goals, you know, own goals, minutes conceding after taking the lead, minutes when you've actually conceded, how we've started the first 10, 20 minutes, how we finished the last 20, you know, because some games we've started well and ended it shaky. Some games we started shaky and ended well, you know. And again, sometimes it's only people want to talk about the fine margins when we win, you know. I think, you know, you look at the Chelsea game at home, we were superb, but we conceded a poor goal. We got away with the penalty. Obviously, there's variables that go your way sometimes, but I just think only when we lose have Arsenal fans truly wanted to nitpick. Sometimes we've won, we haven't played well. Like our last game against Crystal Palace, we turned it on, but we didn't play well. We need to realize football's a 90-minute game. You can't just turn it on for 20 minutes. You know, we need to stop conceding goals to realize we're in a game of football. And as much as I feel a lot of this is down for Arteta, mentally it's down to these players. You need to prepare yourself. When you wake up, are you serious about football? Are you serious about stuff? Because I get it with Tierney, Smith Rowe, Saka, and a couple of them, man. I should be seeing it in the whole team. I shouldn't praise Arsenal for work ethic, for application, for being motivated. And the same goes for any of you that support other clubs. These are givens. These are givens in anything. You lot praise my consistency on YouTube, and I thank you lot for these things. But I can't ask you lot for that. I've made a bed. I've got a lie in it. I can't be here every day, or let's just say I'm here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then suddenly I'm not here for 2 weeks. What the hell is that about? Don't make sense. For me, you know, we've made fewer tackles than any other team in 2020-21. That's not good enough. You know, possession is down as well. Possession is 9/10 of the law. What you do with it makes a change, but we're not doing nothing with possession, and we're not scoring. We're not holding on to possession. We're not good defensively. You don't really know what Arsenal are about. Arsenal concede, and to be fair, we're 5th for clean sheets and stuff. That would give you the, you know, I'll just ask Arsenal fans, do you think we've got the 5th best defense in the league? Not what the stats say. Do you think you've got that? If you think you've got that, fair play. I don't think you believe that though. So again, and while that's shown improvement, when you look at errors leading to goals and things, it paints a different picture. My point being, there's stats for your agenda, whatever you want. Arsenal conceded fewer goals, 39 this season, than they did in any other 4 campaigns. You still got to score. We've committed fewer fouls than any other team, which is cool. But at the same time, you know, I would like to see us higher for tackles and fouls, because I don't think we make enough tactical fouls and kill the sting out of some other people, some other teams, if that makes sense. Shots on target from outside the box in 2020-21. Bruno Fernandes had 24. We had just 2 shots on target. I mean, that's what the Twitter account Obrino said. But you know, you always have to question, is he right there? You know, Arsenal fired fewer shots on target from outside the penny area than any other team in the top flight. Only 3 players have registered more assists for Arsenal than Callum Chambers over 2 seasons, which again shows we don't have players we can rely on, and it's the same old individuals that we rely on. Now, Pepe of recent, Tierney, Saka, they've all just basically joined the club, and typically we're looking at Tierney to make the difference in an offensive sense. Saka the same, Pepe when he's on the pitch the same. You know, the fact that Chambers has 7 assists and no one's done more than him, the fact that William's been poor and he's still technically got 5 Premier League assists, Smith Rowe was barely around and I think he's level, it shows the issue. We have made improvements, but I just feel long-lasting improvements haven't been made, and if they have, they're massively overstated. Improvements do not appear long-lasting. Only 4 teams attempted more crosses from open play in the Premier League than Arsenal. So why are we doing that? We ain't got good men in the air like that. You know, like I said, don't score too many with his head. He has. Aubameyang has scored a couple, you know. Only Wolves scored a lower proportion of goals in the opening 15 minutes of Premier League matches last season than Arsenal, with 9. So again, this tells the problems about how you start games, especially there's been games we've been all on top of, sides don't have the goal to match it. Only Brighton picked up more red cards than Arsenal last season. We had 5, they had 6. Again, discipline. Only 3 teams picked up fewer yellow cards than Arsenal, with Brighton, City and Liverpool. Fair play. But there's a lot to be done. And if Arteta don't fix up, he'll lose his job before Christmas. You know, Arteta, for me, you've banged on about pre-season. Make it work. For Edu, make sure you get the players in quicker. Arteta, I don't want to hear excuses. You've cried about pre-season. Everybody had the same mash-up pre-season last year. Everyone's going to have the same mash-up pre-season this year. Obviously, certain other players are getting called up for international duty more than others. But there's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuses. Like, you know, Arteta, as you lot see here, he has to hit the ground running, man.